Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys. Hey, say what's up, guys.
What up?
Ready to rock.
Hey, today on the backs of Godzilla Minus One, that hit show, that hit movie, we have Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. So here's an official title reveal. I'm hearing this from the people of Toho, the people who did, again, that hot movie, Godzilla Minus One. Put it on, baby, selector. Okay, so I was told incorrectly. This is not Toho. This is the American MonsterVerse, basically. It's handled by Legendary
Oh,
Pictures.
Legendary's doing this one?
Yeah, so the premise is the latest entry follows the explosive showdown of Godzilla versus Kong, which we all know was clearly
Godzilla one? That's what you're saying?
clearly tilted towards Godzilla. When all
Not not tilted. One.
you say patata, I say
Housed them.
potato. You say tomato, I say
Stomped out.
tomato.
Mollywopped.
With an all new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty
He
Kong
whipped his
and
monkey ass.
and Godzilla against a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging the very existence in our own. The epic new film will delve further into the histories of these titans, their origins, the mysteries of Skull Island and
Wow,
beyond,
he's
while
hyped up.
uncovering the mythic battle that helped to forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. Long live King Kong!
Wow.
So yes, so this is coming from that group, and of course, this all relates to the Monarch series, which is actually on Apple Plus right now. So if you look at that, the Monarch organization has been behind all these Titan stuff. They've been looking into it. So hey, I've been watching the MonsterVerse. I've had issues with some of the movies, but I think I'm most likely going to definitely watch this when this pops. I think they're talking about April 2024. So this is definitely a teaser.
So do you think this is gonna be you watch Monarch and then when we get to the end this thing comes out?
Monarch is telling you that the organization, how it's basically starting, and how their connections are with the Titans, right? And this, of course, we all know Titans, another quote unquote, once again, the Needle Corporation being slandered once again. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Right.
I don't know, I
Out
don't know, Selector.
corporations.
The reviews that we've had basically is one after the other of evil corporations. I mean, come on, let's stop it, bro. We got to stop this whole corporation bashing. But you know what? We're rocking it. Me and Kyle are not for this. Just want you to know, and it's a good it's going to be a good show. I mean, can't be as bad as Godzilla King of the Monsters, but hopefully, as long as Kong is there, it should be good. Cal, what's your
Wait a
thought?
second. Wait a second. King of the Monsters was a sequel to the first Godzilla that they recently made.
Yeah, it was Godzilla King of the Monsters, and the most recent was Godzilla versus King Kong, in which Godzilla proved once more why he rules the show.
Okay,
Now,
no, let's hold that now.
why didn't you like
Let's
the
bring
why
this
did
on
you
now.
if you
Let's
like
bring it.
Monarch, why didn't you like what's the name? Why don't you like King of the Monsters?
It was just badly done. I think it could have been. They just rushed that movie out. But I just want to say right here, and I keep saying this again. When you give one guy super breath, you give another guy and give him the gigantic tail, and you make him practically impervious to anything. It's not fair. Guys, King Kong doesn't have any additional powers. I mean, right now, before Godzilla had heat. Now in the movie, they're saying he has heat ray.
Nuclear.
Now
Yeah,
nuclear.
but
Yeah.
So it's not
he
fair.
gained that ability. No, no, no. He gained one. You can't say that it's not fair. These were two separate franchises. Okay, Godzilla was fighting all of these monsters in the Toho company, and those abilities that you see that I'm having in the American version, he already had those years ago in the Toho stories. Okay, because he would have to beat these guys, and then the traditional stuff that he was doing, well, just wasn't enough. So Godzilla would develop these extra powers because he had to beat the monster. King Kong, to be quite frank, the only monsters that we ever really saw him fight were the other monsters on Skull Island. That was it. And these guys did not require, they just required a firm, strong beating as opposed to radioactive breath. But those are the two franchises. Now they decided, hey, we want these guys to match up. Well, King Kong doesn't match up to Godzilla. Anybody would tell you that. He just
But,
doesn't.
but
I
King
mean,
Kong
the first fight took
higher
the
on the
first fight
evolution.
took place. The first the first fight took place on an aircraft carrier. King Kong's lucky he made it out of there alive. Okay, Godzilla's just got it all over him. He's amphibious. He has radioactive breath. He's stronger. He's smarter. He's better. That's just it.
Godzilla is the size of a building. King Kong can only climb up a building.
Oh, that means
He's not,
King Kong would have to climb up Godzilla just to even make it a fight. Oh,
he's not even the size of a backpack. For
yep.
I don't know. He
No, they
couldn't even
actually
be
made
his
they,
backpack.
Higher on the evolutionary chain than Godzilla. Godzilla is from a T-Rex. That's what they're saying, right? And so King Kong is higher. King Kong at this stage knows, hey, you know what? This guy has so many unfair advantages. It's time that I go into my cave and come out with like a gigantic spear, or a diamond gun. I don't know, a laser powered eyes or whatever. But it's time for him to move up the evolutionary chain because right now
well,
it ain't even close to being a fair fight.
fair fight. You just angry. You just what is it? You just sore because Godzilla beat the evolution out of King Kong. That's all that is.
I'm
All right, we digress. We're talking about something else right now.
going to send you back to the Stone Ages. You.
We digress. So we're
There you
talking
go.
about
And take that spear with you.
Godzilla.
What's your name? You see, name Mighty Joe Young. I'm King Kong. You look the size of Mighty Joe Young right now.
Mighty
Human
Joe Young
size.
would have done a better job. He might have had a better chance.
You know what I went? I went to the Planet of the Apes and I stomped them out too. No.
Oh.
Now you just being cruel, bro. Just completely cruel. All right. That's a strong franchise, by the way. So hey, we're all in agreement. We think this looks as though it's something that we're going to be interested in.
Possibly,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know how the stars align in this particular way because this has never happened before, and we discussed this because Toho had already said, look, if the Americans put out a movie, okay, can't be simultaneous with any movie that we put out. So you guys put out a movie, can't happen at the same time, and yet between now and 2004, going into maybe the spring, we're going to see no less than four Godzilla related related media. We're going to see the Monarch, Godzilla minus zero. Okay, there's another the one that we're just talking about now, which escapes my memory, unfortunately. And then there's supposed to be one more. I don't know if it's a video game or animation, but I mean, if you're a Godzilla fan, this is great. I would never have imagined them doing this, but they have something, and I think they've actually tapped into something as well. They have something that the other franchises don't have right now, and that's trust. They have developed the trust. They have delivered on what people expected. Okay, like no, we're not listening to any of this stuff. We know they expect some big mashups and so on and so forth. We're going to give them that. Even, I mean, the last one, what was it? Shin Godzilla? That was trash. Like I was shocked. I was like, the Americans made a better movie than the Japanese for Godzilla, and yet it happened. They came back with Godzilla minus zero. I was like, oh, okay. Now they understand again. They got it. Okay, they got it back at the point. But then you look at the stuff over here, Monarch, that's entertaining. And then they didn't punk people either. They didn't say, okay, we're just going to do that one obligatory Godzilla shot, and now we're out. Now we're just going to focus on these people and stories about absentee fathers. No, no, we still get Godzilla. Godzilla is still very much a part of the story. Okay, you follow that up, minus zero. You follow that up with something else. So again, this is just for me great timing. And if you're selling comic books that are related to Godzilla, even a better series of events could not happen.
Good Lord.
Okay, I sold my copy of Godzilla in Hell trade paperback for, well, I don't want to brag.
I don't like that laugh at all. That laugh from you is pretty bad.
All I can say is, if you've got Godzilla comics, if you've got Godzilla comics and you want them from me, you better get some money.
I mean,
Yeah.
so we're talking about the difference with Toho versus the American ones. The American has only made what 5 different Godzilla movies in the American ones, but
Yeah, but
in
3 of those have been very successful.
yeah, they have. And
You're not talking about the 95 one, are you?
No,
and
hell no. That's not
yeah,
even Godzilla. I
but
don't know
they
what the
had
hell that was. They called it Godzilla, and it was some giant lizard with a helmet head. I was like, hell no,
but
laying eggs,
yeah, but I
laying
guess
eggs in Madison Square Garden. Godzilla has the first time ever comes to New York, and they wasted him like that. It wasn't even a him; it was a her. They kept saying, calling it she. It was terrible. That was straight out of trash. Trash.
so I mean we but Toho has done 33 Godzillas, right? And so basically now we're talking about them reimagining or redoing the Godzilla by going back in time in the Godzilla minus one movie, right? So I guess they've seen the success. Well, I guess they've always seen the success of what happened because they did in 2019 they did the Godzilla King of the Monsters, but in 2018 you had Godzilla City of the Edge of the Battle and Godzilla Planet Eater, right? So those movies were already coming out
The
on Netflix.
anime, the animated ones.
The animated ones.
Wow.
Well,
They
they looked. I mean,
they did not.
Shin
Those
Godzilla was very
2016.
much a retelling. That was very much like a new origin story for Godzilla at the end of the day, and it just wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good. They had him mutating and evolving from some early form to it was like there's some of this stuff just looked disgusting. It's like, what is this? It was just what it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But wisely, they didn't come over here and try to explain stuff away. They're like, okay, and it's they've never rebooted Godzilla officially. We're like, hey, we're gonna go back to the 1950s post World War II setting
Sorry.
and start the franchise from there. They would start over, okay, because you have like the three periods. You have the three periods of Godzilla films. They would start over, but usually there's a different design. But Godzilla he's already a known entity. That's how they would go. But they were look, we're just not tying into anything else. This is like the first actual reboot for them. But hey, how can you mess that up? The original Godzilla film is a classic film. I think it's on I think it's on the 100 greatest film list. At the end of the day, it's really just a good film. If you were to look at it with the symbolism of what Godzilla represents, the fears of what nuclear war and the result of nuclear war would be, that's also represented by Godzilla. It's a great film at the end of the day, and then of course it blossoms into this wonderful franchise. If if you like monsters fighting monsters, at the end of the day, we wouldn't have Pacific Rim, without the success of Godzilla and what he was able to bring to the screen. Toho got it right. I think they looked at nope. It was too much politics, too much weird stuff with Godzilla. People didn't come here for this. This is not what they expect. Let's get back to that, and they did it. And they did it well. Hats off to them, and that should be proof to anyone else. Not want to say any names, Marvel, but if you go back, okay, and say, look, let's just get back to the storytelling and deliver on what people expect, we can reestablish that particular trust. Now, I mean, hey, big Godzilla fan, I'm willing to tune into all of it. I didn't look at Monarch and say, you know what, I'm worried that this is going to be some new age agenda stuff, or it's going to be some anti, patriarchy or what have you. No, I'm going in here, eyes, with full openness because they've delivered on everything else, and I'm expecting to get some good stuff at the end of the day. And yeah, overwhelmingly, it's been good. Okay, maybe some stuff here and there I could nitpick, but overwhelmingly, it's been good. But that's what happens when you establish trust, and they haven't squandered it, unlike some other people. Marvel Comics.
Dude, I don't even know what to say about that. There's nothing wrong with Marvel Comics. But getting back to the whole series, one thing I wanted to point out: the Godzilla minus one that's doing very well right now cost only $15 million to make. I mean, even if they double or triple the amount, the American Godzilla movies are costing anywhere from 150 and up. I mean, so the numbers is how can they even do it? It's just staggering. But
You know how, Mr. Corporate Entity, you know how corporations, and it's not being in America, it's like, you know what they're charging.
oh, so what did you say, Kyle? Okay, we want to end it now.
Wow,
Spinnerack.
that's how you want to end it. Spinrack.
Here's how we're going to end it. Notice that there are no new King Kong movies on the horizon. And we're out.
I think that's it.
Because you know why? There's so many Planet of the Apes movies coming out in the franchise. There's no need to do another ape one.
Godzilla.
Out.
You're saying
What
that the
does that
little,
mean?
you're saying the
What
Planet
does
of the
that
Apes
mean?
eclipse King Kong?
I'm saying that we have enough apes right now. Once they start,
Wow. You don't even want a King Kong movie when you're saying like that. You got enough
King
apes.
Kong got whipped on by
take them.
Godzilla, and he's getting whipped on by those little itty bitty chimpanzees too.
Wow. Dr.
Oh,
Zayas just
oh,
sung. Dr. Zayas just sung King Kong.
Out.
Dr. Zayas just wiped King Kong's name out of the sand. Just like
that's right. His new name is King Cornelius.
he got rid of him. Spin rack.
Out.
Out.